Christian was recently hired by a massive gaming tech company as a full-time beta tester. He was super excited about the job in general. Playing video games is a dream come true, but to be one of the first people to test the new full-dive virtual reality gear was insane. He arrived early for his 4th day of work. The first day was all paperwork. The second was a bunch of medical tests to make sure he was fit to use the full dive tech. And the third was a full day of instructions on how to operate and use the tech once inside. The 4th day was the dive day. Today, Christian was going to step out of normal reality and into a virtual one. He was told to lie down on a bed, and after that, they slipped the headset on his head. It was a bit heavy, but with him lying down, it didn't matter much. There was a countdown, and when it hit 1, Christian felt as though he was being pulled through a portal. There were a ton of colors and moving shapes, but after a few seconds it ended and he found himself inside a medieval fantasy town, which made sense, as the game was called Fantasy Life. It seemed to be the central hub for the game. It was quite lively, almost as if it were a real town. Tons of people walking around, merchants selling things, and even birds and other animals. Of course, most of them were NPCs. From what they told Christian, only about 100 people are beta testing, and not all of them are on at once. It was highly unlikely he'd meet any during the first round of beta testing, so he was free to roam this big world without anyone getting in his way. He went to move but found himself unable to. He looked down and had a system message. It asked him to create a character. He didn't realize they'd let him do that, so he hit confirm and created a character. He ended up creating a large, handsome male fighter, one with a battle scar on his eye and short purple hair. He hit confirm and then it asked him to fill out his stats using a set amount of points they provided at the start. He was going to put them all in strength, but he noticed something as he did. If he clicked on 2 stats at the same time, they both went up and only cost 1 point. He then refunded 1 and got an extra point back, but he didn't lose the other. It was clearly a bug, and Christian was supposed to note down bugs and tell the developers so they could fix them. But he had other plans. He wanted to find as many bugs as possible and exploit them to make his character the strongest in the game. So Christian spent nearly 20 minutes using this bug to get extra points, and by the end of it, he had 99 stat points in each category, despite only being level 1. He hit confirm, and the game allowed him to move around. Already he noticed the effects of his max stats. He felt super light due to his strength. He was fast and could run forever thanks to his dexterity. Looking at things gave him info on them thanks to his intelligence, and everyone seemed to love him, likely due to his. Christian ran across the town and found his first quest. It was a fetch quest for a woman to find her rare family jewel that was stolen by a goblin outside town. Thanks to his incredible speed, he got to it in less than a minute. He forgot to get any weapons, but when the goblin hit him and did no damage, he knew he didn't need them. Christian punched the goblin and it died instantly, with the words "critical hit" appearing above it. Christian laughed. It was so amazing to be this strong. He walked over and looted the goblin, taking its makeshift sword, as it was better than nothing and he was sure he'd replace it at some point anyway. He took the ring back to the quest giver and turned it in for 10 gold and enough experience to level up. Leveling up gave Christian more stat points that he didn't need, but also an ability point. Thanks to there only being 1, Christian couldn't test out the previous bug to see if it worked here, so he got a sword ability that does 300% more damage during the next swing. He equipped it and saw the lady from the quest he just completed. He then had a sneaky thought, and by that, he thought about robbing her and taking the ring to sell, which turned out to be very easy when you have stats like his. Once he had the ring again, he went off to the nearest shop and sold it for 1,000 gold. The look on Christian's face after he sold it was like that of a kid in a candy store. See, after selling the ring, it popped up on the table in front of Christian for sale. No display box or anything else to keep it from being stolen. Christian knew he could become rich from this, so the second the merchant turned around as part of his predetermined path, Christian snatched the ring again and sold it back to him. This is where Christian discovered another bug. The merchants pay the players money for an item and then mark it up to make money, so when Christian stole it again, it had become worth more, so when he sold it the second time, he made 2,000 gold. After making a couple million off the merchant, Christian pocketed the ring for a later date and went off. He bought some amazing gear and went off to fight some strong monsters. He was able to hyper-grind up to level 30 in only a half hour due to all his cheating. He even discovered a bug with that ability he unlocked earlier. It was supposed to have a 1-minute cooldown, but if Christian sheathed his weapons and pulled them out immediately afterward, it reset all the cooldowns on abilities. So he was constantly doing that and defeating everything easier than slicing bread. Alas, all good things must come to an end, and a program developed to act as the game master of this world appeared in front of Christian. It had noticed Christian was cheating by exploiting the bugs, even if it wasn't sure how he was doing it. Christian just told the game master that he was just playing his way and to leave him alone, but he didn't seem happy with that. He told Christian that's not how this game is supposed to work, and his job was to help make this game work better, and it was about time he made himself useful. The game master sticks its hand into Christian's stomach. Christian was confused until he felt it changing him. He wasn't sure what it was doing, but he demanded it stop, and then he tried to attack it, but then a system message appeared saying he had been paralyzed. Christian was helpless as he watched the game master change his character from a tall, handsome, and buff man with max stats to a curvy, very attractive woman with very low stats in everything but charisma. Christian found thinking about things quite hard, which made sense as the game master gave her the minimum stats in intelligence and wisdom, which was 1, so she wasn't even able to understand what had happened to her. She also didn't remember she was in a game. The game master seemed pleased with the physical and mental changes, and decided to keep changing things. Her class was changed to Showgirl, and her place of employment was set at the local theater casino. The game master also changed her name to Melody, so no one would question her, or find out what happened to Christian. With that done, the game master removed its hand and teleported them to Melody's new workplace. The game master opened Melody's inventory and gear page, and equipped the Showgirl outfit set onto her. The set consisted of 3 parts: the main dress, the heels, and the headdress. The heels were nearly 8 inches high, but Melody didn't seem to notice. The headdress was large and heavy, but upon equipping it, her hairstyle changed and became very thick and parted to the sides to show off her forehead. Suddenly, Melody was in her new uniform. It was quite amazing to look at, as well as very tight. With the outfit equipped, the game master locked them all onto her so they couldn't be removed, which was how all the NPCs in the game worked. Then all that was left was to bind her to her place of work so she didn't somehow run off or get taken by a player. A collar appeared around Melody's neck and locked itself, then vanished so it couldn't be seen. Now she was stuck here permanently. Melody was just standing there watching, as the game master did all that, as her head was a bit empty and she had no reason to interfere with it. The game master then explained to Melody what she needed to do every day. It even went so far as to upload a schedule and knowledge about her job into her head so she wouldn't forget. Once it did, Melody went off to start working right away. So that's where she's been for about 2 years now. The reason for that was that the developer team couldn't find Christian in the system to log him out, and if they just removed the dive gear, he could die instantly. So they merely covered it up. Now Christian's body remains secured deep in one of the company's black sites, where it's taken care of quite well, and Melody works tirelessly at her job, which up until today was quite easy. Now that the game is open to all, she's quite busy entertaining the 1 million or so players that join. There were other showgirls, but everyone loved her the most. It was because she was much more lifelike and not a bland-speaking NPC, but that's because she is a real person. But they'll never know that.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also check out my Patreon and DeviantArt pages. There you can find all my public stories. You can also support my work by getting early access to all stories, exclusive content, and even commission me to make you a custom story. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day.